Okay, so we're here once again in Sword Factory X, and I think I may have some possible explanations and theories for this big creepy purple portal gate thing that is behind here in your base. Now obviously this was introduced in a recent update, and honestly I was not expecting this thing to be here. I'm not really too sure if many people have actually talked about it or not, or whether we've actually got an explanation for it before. But I think I have some new explanations, some theories, and basically what this could be in future updates. So obviously it is genuinely just some massive sort of portal, maybe like a gate thing with this massive purple triangle lock thing on it with like an eye. It's also got the eye on top as well, and it just looks really creepy. Now obviously if we come back a little bit, you can see how big it is just from even far away, and obviously then if we come up really close, you can see this thing is absolutely massive, and literally every part of this whole thing is just way bigger than the player, as you can see. I don't even think we can zoom out far enough to see how big this thing is. So yeah, this is definitely something that's going to be really cool and really interesting, but I think I may have some possible explanations and theories to what this thing could be. So let's just get straight into that. So one of the things that was introduced alongside this new portal that is also purple is the new enchant, which is obviously the soul-bound enchant. So as you can see over here on the enchants list, it's going to be a little bit hidden, but as you can see it does have like a nice black, white and like purple sort of glow gradient thing to it. It's a little bit better, as you can see on this sword here, and basically it seems like these colours really do match up really well with this new portal. Obviously the new portal is black and purple, so basically I think that the new soulbound enchant may possibly be linked to this new portal, because as you can see the new colours do definitely link together, and as well as that, the fact that it's called soul is definitely something that's a little bit sinister and a little bit creepy. So maybe this new portal could be to do with something like a whole new soul place or something like that, which will definitely be really creepy. But yeah, that is one explanation, or one thing that it could definitely be linked to, and that is really interesting if that is the case. So that'll be really interesting to see if Soulbound is actually linked to this new portal. Now another new thing that this could be is obviously a brand new map or a brand new area. Now obviously if we come back over here to the spawn real quick like so, as you can see obviously we do have the usual teleporters over here, and there is actually spaces for new maps to come in. As you can see we've got 2 more spaces, so honestly this could be a new map that it could possibly be. Obviously though, with the teleporter over here with having spaces, if they did bring in a new map, obviously then the map would appear over here in the teleporter instead of having the portal be used. So I'm not really too sure how that would work, but honestly it'll be again really cool if we have a whole new massive place that could be used for this whole new portal. Maybe like a new map that will bring in some new kind of rarities to bosses and stuff. Obviously now we have like void bosses, I think we have neon bosses and shiny bosses as well. So maybe this could be like a brand new portal to a new whole like kind of difficulty of boss or something. I'm really not too sure, but again it'll be really interesting to see if it is a brand new world. And continuing on from like the sort of different types of bosses, with the fact that this is kind of like black and purple, obviously the only other boss in the game that is black is obviously the void bosses. So maybe this could be leading into a whole new world that'll be for the void bosses, and literally every single boss that'll be in this portal will only be void bosses. Now again, this will be a very difficult world to go through, because obviously even just neon and shiny bosses can be very tough to defeat, and honestly when you come up against a void boss, you're 100% going to lose if you don't have like just the most amount of health in the world. Even me right now with 1.5 trillion health is genuinely no match to even some of the lower void bosses in the game. So yeah, that'll be really interesting again to see if that is going to be a new void build or something. But yeah, another explanation that this could be is, or well, another theory at least, is that this could be a brand new story mode that could be coming to Sword Factory. Now one thing that probably lacks in Sword Factory, and honestly a lot of Roblox games now, is a lack of a story mode, and just kind of like a lack of any sort of narrative to the game. You just kind of go in, do your thing and then leave, and that's just kind of it. You're not really working towards anything apart from leaderboards, so this could definitely be a whole new story mode that would be really cool, that will be in the game. Maybe you can work your way through, start to get some new rarities that aren't in the game yet, and that will unlock a whole load of possibilities for what this new portal could be. Because honestly, a story mode in this game would be so cool, because obviously there's actually a lot of unexplained things in this game. If we are looking at it from a kind of gamer's point of view, I guess you could say, honestly there's a lot of things that could be explained in this game, such as why are we here on this base island, maybe like why do these worlds exist, why is there so many bosses that are out to kill us, why are some bosses stronger than others and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be really cool to see like a story mode, and it can obviously introduce some whole new bosses, whole new rarities, and maybe even like a mega boss. That'll be some kind of like huge boss that everyone's got to kill to get some, maybe like some really cool loot and stuff like that. Maybe you could have like a final boss that is, if we do come back real quick to, or actually we can check the index, if we look at the rarities and stuff real quick like so, maybe you can have like a mega final boss that's going to be like a galactic +3 boss that's just going to have tons of health, tons of damage and stuff like that. But honestly, it'll be a really cool thing to work towards, and obviously then going through the story mode, it'll definitely help, because then you'll get some better loot along the way and stuff like that. So honestly, that'll be a really cool thing, and honestly this is what I hope will be in the game, a new story mode or something. But obviously it's going to take a long time for that to happen. There's honestly like so many different things that you'll have to do for a story mode, obviously introducing some new assets and stuff to the game, as well as getting in story writers and stuff like that. So if this was a story mode, honestly it'll take a long time for this whole new portal to actually open up and be introduced. But again, I do hope for a story mode at least at some point in this game, because honestly that would make the game so much more fun, and honestly it would just stand out from the rest. So a story mode is definitely on top of the list for things that we want in this game, and a possible theory for this brand new portal. Now, I think that last theory that we can have in the game for what this portal could be is maybe a whole new dungeon area. Now, obviously we've not had a proper dungeon area before in the game. We do obviously have the worlds and stuff that I guess you could count as like sort of portal, well, as sort of dungeon areas. Obviously you can go through, and sometimes every now and again, if you get lucky, the further through you go is basically the better the bosses that kind of spawn in, I guess, and obviously at the end is usually the better bosses. But obviously that's not always the case, so realistically we could get a new whole dungeon thing, which again could be a whole new feature to the game, which could drop different types of loot, better loot, and depending on like what sort of like difficulty of dungeon you go into, maybe then it can unlock some better loot and stuff like that. So yeah, another really good explanation and another really fun way they could use this portal is making a dungeon. And obviously then it'll unlock new ways to get some better loot, because obviously right now, realistically when you think about it, we're not exactly going past anything that's eternal. Obviously I do believe there's like a couple eternal swords in the game, there is a few celestials and stuff like that. However, when it comes to cosmic and above, we're not really going to get any of those for quite a while. So having a dungeon and stuff could definitely introduce some of these these more rare swords into the game, and maybe introduce some of the stuff that's going to be basically impossible to get for at least like a year or something. Because honestly, I don't see anyone getting any stellar or even galactic stuff for like the next year or so, just because of how far away it's going to be until someone actually gets that. So again, a dungeon is definitely something that will be interesting to the game, and honestly I would love to see a dungeon. Maybe they could do a dungeon and a story mode together, because then we're getting the best of both worlds. But yeah, that is basically some possible explanations. Let me know which ones you think are the best, and honestly I do think the dungeon and the story mode are definitely the best and most exciting theories that we can put into this new portal. But yeah, let me know what you guys think this whole thing will be. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.